What a scene here inside the Penn & Teller Theater.
Good luck, Coach. Good luck.
And Norman, who could have ever predicted this matchup?
It would have been a treat to see my man Phil Ivey go heads up, but to have 21-year-old Joe Cada chasing poker history against the improbable, unimaginable Darvin Moon is just incredible.
Darvin's wife and family continue to stand by their man, and the yellow-clad Cada contingent continues to grow. Everyone in this Penn & Teller Theater ready to get this heads-up underway and award $8.5 million and that bracelet.
The cash looks so sweet.
It's money.
Darvin knows money doesn't grow on trees.
As this heads-up gets underway, Joe Cada in dominant position with almost 136 million chips. Darvin Moon starting heads-up just about where he started this final table with almost 59 million. The Moon man needs to get active. In the first hand of heads-up, Darvin Moon dealt pocket queens.
Darvin has only played heads-up a couple of times in his life. Cada considers himself a heads-up specialist. He plays almost daily online.
Just a call from Darvin for 500,000. Cada with pocket nines.
Cada was chip leader at his day one session, and now is the chip leader heads up, but so much has happened in between.
A raise from Cada to $3.5 million, and the blood pressure rising here in the theater.
Boy, two big pocket pair on the first hand of heads up. This could get real interesting real quick.
Moon just calls with his pocket queens for $2.5 million. Here's the flop. Trey, king, deuce, that misses both. Moon's queens are way ahead. Joe first to act.
3.5.
That's $3.5 million.
Darvin not only has virtually no heads-up experience, he's never read a single poker book, but sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Raise.
$10 million now, the raise from Darvin Moon.
Darvin not worried by the king. Frankly, I don't think Darvin is worried by anything these days.
Back to Joe Cada now. He has to wonder if Darvin has that king. But he'll make the call for $6.5 million. So a 27 million chip pot. The turn card is an ace, another overcard to both pocket pairs.
Yeah, that ace might stop either one in their tracks.
Cada does check. Does Darvin Moon know how to slow down? He's reaching for chips. The ace does not slow him down. That's 10 million.
Darvin says, I think I'm best, and if I'm not, I should hear from you now, Joe Cada, if you've got a king or an ace.
I don't think Joe Cada's going anywhere with his pocket nines, and he does make the call. Joe's mom, Ann, looking very anxious.
Well, that call's gotta worry Darvin, even if he doesn't worry.
All right, we're going to see a river card. It's another king. Darvin Moon with the check mark. Kings and queens. Cada checks again.
Check.
And Darvin checks. Moon shows his two queens.
Kings and queens.
I love how Darvin doesn't wait for his opponent to show. He just turns his cards up.
And Moon will win that hand with a better two pair. A huge pot to kick off this heads up. There is so much at stake right now as we take a look at the final table ticker sponsored by FullTiltPoker.net. The men listed in the column on the right did win millions at the main event, but the champions on the left are forever a part of poker history and will never be forgotten. Action now on Joe Cada. King Jack offsuit.
At one point, Cada had 1% of the chips at this final table. He was more likely to scale Mount Everest than to win the main event.
Cada raises to $2.5 million. Darvin Moon with queen 8 off.
If Darvin wins, he says he might buy his wife a new lawnmower.
Ooh. A call from Darvin with his queen 8. And here's the flop. 6-5 Jack, top pair for Joe Cada. Moon missed that flop.
You know, I priced some lawnmowers at Sears. Even if he gets her a really nice Craftsman front-propelled rear bag mower, that's only going to set him back $379.99.
He said he's got to build the garage to house it, though. Moon checked. Cada bets $3.5 million with his jacks.
Raise.
And a raise announced from Darvin. Aggression comes pretty easily to this guy. He makes it $8.5 million.
Now, riding mower, you're talking 4 figures, but I don't think he's talking a riding mower.
So a big test to young Joe Cada here. And he makes the call for $5 million.
Yeah, Cada thinks he's ahead. Darvin says sometimes he bets like hell when he's got it. Sometimes he bets like hell when he doesn't.
Moon pairs his queen on the turn to turn this hand upside down, and he checks top pair.
Well, Darvin didn't have it. Now he does have it, and he doesn't bet.
And Cada checks behind him. Wise check. River card is a deuce. Moon with the check mark again. And he will bet it. It's about 1/3 the pot, 7.25 million.
I love Darvin's check on the turn. It might get his value bet here paid off.
Cada has a pair of jacks.
I call.
Joe makes the call. Darvin turns over the pair of queens, and with that pot, Moon is once again the chip leader at the main event.
And Cada shows his jack and some frustration.
And Darvin Moon suddenly has the momentum heads up. Joe Cada turns around to his supporters as if to say, what do I do with this guy? The logger from Maryland chips away at the young gun Cada and once again has the chip lead. The Penn and Teller Theater still packed. We are heads up for the main event championship. Logger Darvin Moon and young Joe Cada.
Well, we made it longer than I thought we would. I figured you'd have me on the rail by now.
Playing well. You're playing really well.
Thanks. You are too.
Darvin is playing well enough to have extended his chip lead. Joe Cada with over 61 million. Darvin with almost 134 million.
Cada seems surprised about how tough Darvin has been. Darvin's humble boy routine has him close to a world championship.
Action starts on Joe Cada with Jack 9 off.
Cada sometimes plays 40 tournaments a day online, but never against Darvin. Darvin's never even played online.
Cada with a raise with his Jack 9 to 3 million. Darvin looks down at 8-7 of spades. And he will make the call for 1.8 million more as he tries to put the young Joe Cada away. The flop is 10-5-9. Cada hits a pair of nines. Moon an up and down straight draw. Darvin checks. Joe checks middle pair. Turn card now is another 10. Cada still ahead.
We've seen the same pattern from Joe Cada. I think he keeps trying to get Darvin to be overly aggressive.
Darvin's just going to check it. Now Joe, will he bet it this time? And he does. 3 million.
He sat on his hand on the flop, decides to pull the trigger here.
Darvin giving this some thought.
I'm all in.
Moves all in. That's enough to put Cada all in.
Wow. Cada says Darvin plays ABC poker. Darvin reaching deeper into the alphabet here, asking Joe Cada if he's willing to risk his main event right now. If I'm Joe Cada, I'd have a hard time believing Darvin has a 10 in his hand making that raise. But then again, this is for everything.
I call.
Cada makes the call. What a read by the young gun. And this puts Joe Cada in position to retake control of this matchup.
With just middle pair, Joe Cada makes the tough call, and what a call it was.
Darvin Moon's over-aggressive play may be handing the reins back to Joe Cada, but if Moon can hit the river, he will be the most unlikely world champion ever. We have seen both of these players catch cards at this final table. Right now, Joe Cada needs to dodge danger to survive.
Darvin's still got 7 outs to complete his improbable journey. With a jack or a 6 on the river, Darvin Moon will be the main event champion.
The river card is a tray. Joe Cada doubles up.
Joe Cada with the call of his life. And Cada sits Darvin Moon back down and regains control of this heads-up match.
So the tables are turned on this heads-up match again. Darvin Moon, the shorter stack. Joe Cada in charge.
It's good bluff, though. It was good semi-bluff.
Good call, Joe. Good call.
Good play. Honestly, you're playing awesome.
It's fun. It's fun for me. I'm learning so much off you.
Like, I play heads up all the time. You're by far, like, a really, like, tough opponent.
Quite a bit of respect being shown between these two last men standing.
Lon, it's been a final table I don't want to see end. It has been scintillating.
Every hand has the whole crowd on the edge of their seats. The World Championship bracelet and $8.5 million up for grabs. Action starts on Joe Cada. Joe with pocket nines.
Cada was a Moneymaker baby boomer. He started playing online in his teens after watching Chris Moneymaker's main event win.
And a standard raise now to $3 million. Darvin Moon, queen jack of diamonds. And Moon looks like he's going to raise it up. He will make it $8 million to stick around.
Darvin consistent at this entire final table in his aggression.
Joe needs 5 to call.
Small one.
Now Cada is the aggressor, trying to put Darvin Moon all in.
And now it's Darvin's moment of truth. Is he willing to risk it all here?
Call.
And Darvin makes the call with his suited queen jack.
Wow, Darvin plays by different rules, and he makes that all-in call for $64 million.
So here we go, Joe Cada on the precipice of becoming the youngest world champion ever.
Phil Hellmuth's record as youngest main event champ stood for 19 years. Peter Eastgate's record could be wiped out in 1.
And here is the flop. 8-7. That is a good flop for Joe Cada.
Darvin takes it in stoically. Cada can't look.
Relax.
Relax.
That chant has gotten Cada through so many difficult moments. And now the turn card. It's a king. That's the only paint Darvin doesn't have.
The main event champion of the world.
On day 3, Cada jokingly told Peter Eastgate he would break his record. Now he's 1 card away from doing it. Darvin Moon needs a queen or a jack, or Joe Cada will be the main event champ.
And that 7 will end it. Joe Cada rewrites poker history, becoming the youngest main event champ ever.
You played a hell of a match.
Good hand. You played hell of a match.
Seriously, all the props in the world.
He's a kid with a dream come true. 21 years, 11 months, 21 days old.
So many times Joe was almost out of here, but each time managed to survive. An overwhelming moment for Joe's mom and for young Joe himself.
You win some, you lose some.
Darvin Moon, unlikely, unexpected, and until the end, unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
The kid is now officially the comeback kid.